want to talk to you a little bit about breathing now. So it's really, really important in having a healthy, strong, well-functioning body that we have our breathing right. Whatever issues or conditions you're working on, breath has got to be really high up on your list of things to really get right. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the ineffective breathing patterns that I see first before we talk about how it is best to breathe. Now, I know that you know how to breathe. You have been breathing your whole life. I know this. But there are some really ineffective breath patterns. One of the ones that I see quite often is people just not taking time to breathe deeply enough. Everybody is so busy these days. Everybody's rushing around. They've got 1,001 things to do. And it's almost like they don't have time to take a deep breath. Now, often we call this upper chest breathing. Kind of the shoulders almost go with every breath. And it's a very short, shallow breath. They get out of breath quite easily. Often seen in people that are just busy and on the go all of the time. You know, the type A people who are just can't sit down. That's often the people that have this upper chest breathing. So it's just not an effective breathing strategy because you're not getting enough air in with every breath. And you're using the shoulders and the muscles of the neck with every breath. So these guys are doing so much work and not really getting any payoff for it. So that's the first one. The second one that I see quite often, especially in people that do a lot of yoga, is belly breathing. Now, belly breathing is fantastic for relaxation when you don't need your abdominal muscles for anything else because you're lying down in Shavasana and you're relaxing, and absolutely wonderful, and don't stop doing that because that's amazing. However, it's not a great strategy for breathing when you're out and about, when you are relying on the muscles of your abdominals to support you to do anything else. And I'm not even just talking about in the gym, I'm talking about when you're walking and everything else that you require your abdominals to do throughout the day. So the problem is that as you are belly breathing and your abdominals are contracting and releasing with every breath, if you need your abdominals to contract to pick something up, to bend over, to support your spine, to support your pelvic floor when you sneeze, anything like that, well, if they're so busy contracting and releasing with your breath, they then can't respond to anything else. So we don't want to be belly breathing all of the time. Another one that I see, not as often, is called backwards breathing. So when you inhale, if you imagine that when you inhale and your lungs inflate, that everything kind of has to open out to make more space, and then as you exhale, everything contracts back down to get rid of the air. So if you think about it like a balloon, as you blow in air into a balloon, it expands, and as you let the air out, the balloon contracts back down. Now that's what your body is designed to do. Sometimes somewhere along the way, that communication pathway has got a little bit scrambled and it's got a little bit confused, and it just doesn't work quite how it should do. So then I will see people who, when they inhale, their body draws in, and then when they exhale, it opens out. And I'm not really sure where that breathing pattern comes from. It's almost like when they exhale, they're trying to relax everything. So I don't even know. But it's fairly easy to fix. Awareness is key to everything. You cannot fix something until you know that it's not right, you know what's happening, and then you know what you should be doing, and then you can try to change that. So the breathing that I teach it's got many names: lateral breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, ribcage breathing, 3D breathing. Essentially, it means allowing the ribcage to expand with every breath. Your ribcage houses your lungs, so it makes sense that when the lungs inflate and fill with air, that the ribcage moves out to accommodate that, and then as you exhale, the ribcage can contract back down as the ribs contract back down. Now, in an effective breath pattern, that works beautifully, and your diaphragm will also drop down, so your belly will move a little bit, but we just don't want to emphasize that huge belly in, belly out. So don't worry if your belly moves a little bit, it will do as the diaphragm descends and lifts back up. Let's play with this a little bit. So have your hands on your rib cage, have your thumbs behind and your fingers at the front, and then let your shoulders relax down. And then take some deep breaths here. So really take a long, slow inhale. And then fully exhale. Now try and breathe in and out through your nose. See if you can feel your ribcage moving. Can you feel it moving at both sides, out to the sides? And can you feel it moving front to back? That 3D breath. Now, if you're not feeling very much, or you're kind of not sure what's going on, don't worry about it. Again, this is something that's really easy to get. Grab yourself a strap, yoga strap, dressing gown, belt, whatever you have got handy, and wrap it around your rib cage. So it's going to go just below your chest, and we're going to cross it over in front, and then we're going to pull it so there's a little bit of tension on it and you can feel it around your rib cage. Now, as you take a really deep breath in, I want you to try and force your rib cage against the strap to make the strap open out a little bit more. So try that. Inhale. And then as you exhale, your rib cage is going to pull away from the strap, and then I want you to tighten that strap a little bit so you're emphasising that contracting back down of the rib cage. Let's do that a few times. Just go at your own pace, but as you inhale, you're pushing into the strap, trying to get that strap to stretch out to the sides, and then exhale and pulling that strap back in. And you can play with that for as long as you need to. Obviously, if you start to get a little bit lightheaded and dizzy because you've slowed your breath down so much, just have a rest. Come to it again later on. Often when you start playing with your breath, if it's not something that you do, and especially if you are a very shallow breather, when you start taking those deep breaths, it can take a little while for your body to get used to that. Now, I don't expect you to remember to be breathing into your rib cage every second of every day, and you will slip into whatever breathing pattern you have been doing for however long you've been doing it. But the more you're aware of this, so the more times you remember and just stop, take some deep breaths, see if you can feel your rib cage moving, the more you play with this, your body will start to recognise that it's a really effective breathing pattern, that it's getting maximum air in with every breath. So when we take these deep breaths and we get more air in, it allows the heart to work more efficiently because it's got plenty of oxygen coming in there. It's got plenty of room to get the oxygen in there because your rib cage has moved out of the way. So your heart doesn't have to work as hard to pump the oxygen around your body because it's got a plentiful supply. Whereas when we're breathing in that upper chest and we're not getting much air in with every breath, your heart has got to work really hard because it doesn't have much oxygen and it's got to get that little bit around your body. So by slowing the breath down, taking really a lot of air in with every breath, it's going to really improve your whole body health, cardiovascular health too. Play with the breathing. Let me know what you find. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to chat about this with you a little bit further.